Lindsay Lohan. Just hearing her name probably brings a flood of memories, right? Whether you know her as the freckle-faced twin from The Parent Trap or the ultimate queen bee in Mean Girls, the girl has had one of Hollywood's most talked-about journeys. After practically ruling Hollywood in the 2000s, she's back in action and making waves again. But what made her step away from the spotlight in the first place? And what brought her back to us now? Stick around as we dig into the details of Lohan's break from the industry and what she is up to now. Lindsay Lohan, once the poster child of Hollywood's wild child era, has now become a symbol of reinvention. Starting with her early days as a child star to her rocky years in the spotlight, Lohan's journey has been anything but ordinary. But now, with a newfound sense of stability and a promising return to the screen, she is showing the world that her story is far from over, and what lies behind the headlines is a tale of growth in a woman, reclaiming her narrative in a way only Lindsay Lohan can. But is it really true? Let's dissect childhood and background. Lindsay D. Lohan was born on July 2nd, 1986, in the Bronx, New York City, and grew up in the more suburban areas of Long Island, specifically Merrick and Cold Spring Harbor. From an early age, Lindsay was surrounded by the complexities of both fame and family struggles. Her mother, Dina Lohan, had a background in dance and acting. She even trained as a rocket and performed in off-Broadway productions. And this artistic influence played a key role in Lindsay's early entry into the entertainment industry. On the other hand, her father, Michael Lohan, was a Wall Street trader whose legal troubles often made headlines, and his frequent run-ins with the law, including prison stints, added instability to the family dynamic. Lindsay's parents had a wonky relationship where they separated multiple times and reunited before finally divorcing in 2007, and the emotional toll of their stormy marriage had a huge effect on Lindsay, who once described feeling like a second parent who was caught in the middle of their conflicts. Lohan was the eldest of 4 siblings, all of whom dipped their toes into the entertainment world at some point. Her brother Michael Jr. even appeared alongside her in the popular 1998 film The Parent Trap. With her Irish and Italian heritage and Roman Catholic upbringing, Lindsay's life was a blend of cultural influences and familial expectations, but despite the challenges at home, her talent and charisma were quite evident from a young age because, by the time she was just 3 years old, Lindsay had already started her on with her modeling journey and was signing with Ford models. Her adorable face graced numerous television commercials for big brands such as Wendy's, Pizza Hut, and Jell-O, where she famously shared the screen with comedian Bill Cosby. After being in the modeling industry for a while, her television debut came around at the age of 10 when she played Alexandra Ely Fowler on the soap opera Another World. This role further solidified her presence in the entertainment industry and made it clear that young Lindsay was not just a cute face in TV ads. She had acting chops too. But as her career blossomed, so did the pressures that came with fame, especially for a child. The glamour of Hollywood was alluring, but behind the scenes, Lindsay's family struggles and the constant media attention were taking a toll on her mental health. Career start. As told earlier, Lindsay Lohan's career truly began when she was just 3 years old and she started modeling for Ford models. She quickly became a familiar face and appeared in over 60 commercials for big brands. Her early modeling work for Calvin Klein Kids and Abercrombie showed how versatile and charming Lindsay was, and this carried her right into the world of acting. By the time she landed her first acting role at 10 years old playing Alexandra Ely Fowler on the soap opera Another World, she was already considered a seasoned veteran in show business. Soap Opera magazine recognized her talent, and after a year on the show, Lohan was ready for her next big opportunity. In 1998, at just 11 years old, Lindsay hit the big screen in Disney's family comedy The Parent Trap, which was a remake of the 1961 classic. She took on the dual roles of twins Annie and Hallie, who were separated at birth and were determined to reunite their long-divorced parents, played by Dennis Quaid and Natasha Richardson. The film became a box office hit and earned a total of $92 million worldwide and received positive reviews from all over. Critics praised Lohan's performance, and her impressive debut won her a Young Artist Award for Best Performance in a Feature Film and secured her a 3-film contract with Disney, marking her as a rising star in Hollywood. Lohan's portrayal of the twins in The Parent Trap had a long and lasting impact, especially on the millennials, and the film's heartwarming story of sisters meeting at summer camp and initially clashing before conspiring to reunite their divorced parents resonated with audiences. Plus, Lohan's ability to bring 2 distinct characters to life made her performance unforgettable. Even years later, The Parent Trap continues to be an iconic family film thanks in large part to Lohan's charm. Then at 14, Lohan was cast as Bette Midler's daughter in the pilot for the sitcom Bet. Lohan was already making waves but had to leave the role when the show relocated from New York to Los Angeles. She continued her ascent with made-for-TV movies and starred alongside Tyra Banks in Life Size in 2000, playing Casey Stewart, who was a tween football player who accidentally brought her doll to life while trying to reincarnate her deceased mother. The doll Eve, played by Tyra Banks, became an iconic character and the movie became quickly a fan favorite. Lohan's Disney magic did not stop there. She was invited to help celebrate Walt Disney's birthday in 2001, reprising her Parent Trap roles for footage filmed at Walt Disney World. By 2002, she was starring in another hit, the Disney Channel original movie Get a Clue, and was on her way to becoming one of Hollywood's biggest stars. Both films became staples for the Disney Channel and further solidified Lohan's growing fame. Despite her burgeoning career, she worked hard to maintain some semblance of normalcy in her life and balanced her on-screen success with her desire to live like any other teenager, and was determined to keep her life as grounded as possible, even as she became a household name. At the peak of her career, Lindsay Lohan's rise to fame was meteoric, and it all began with her breakout role in Disney's 1998 remake of The Parent Trap, but her journey didn't stop there. By the time she was 12 years old, her natural acting talent, charismatic presence, and signature red hair made her stand out, and just 4 years later Lohan found herself cast alongside Jamie Lee Curtis in another successful Disney remake, Freaky Friday. This 2003 film, where she played a mother and daughter who switched bodies, became a family favorite, and at only 16, Lohan pulled off the challenge of portraying both a teenager and a 40-year-old mom. Her role also required her to sing and play the guitar, which added to her growing list of talents. Her performance in Freaky Friday was so well received that she won the MTV Movie Award for Breakthrough Performance, and the movie went on to gross $160 million worldwide and became her most commercially successful film to date. But it was at 17, in 2004, that Lohan's star truly ascended when she moved to Los Angeles and landed 2 lead roles in major films. First up was Confessions of a Teenage Drama Queen, which was a fun, quirky Disney teen comedy, and where she played the melodramatic Lola Stepp. Though it did not achieve critical acclaim, it performed well at the box office and earned $29 million. However, the real game-changer for Lohan came with her role in Mean Girls later that same year. This film was her first project outside of Disney and became an instant cultural phenomenon. Written by Tina Fey, Mean Girls was a smart, satirical take on high school life that was greatly loved by the audiences, and Lohan's portrayal of Katie Heron cemented her status as a teen movie queen. Originally, Lohan had been interested in playing the iconic role of Regina George, but her rising fame led to her taking the lead as Katie, with Rachel McAdams stepping into the role of the mean girl. Mean Girls was a critical and commercial success and grossed $129 million worldwide, earning Lohan numerous awards, including 4 Teen Choice Awards and 2 MTV Movie Awards. The film's sharp humor and memorable quotes have made it a staple in pop culture, with Lohan's performance praised for its relatability and wit. The Mean Girls launched her into a new level of fame, and she became a household name seemingly overnight, with her public profile skyrocketing. With that fame came the inevitable attention from the paparazzi, and suddenly every aspect of her personal life, from her relationships to her nights out, was under the lens. Despite her immaculate success, the constant pressure of fame began to take its toll on Lohan, and by 2005 she was balancing both her acting and music careers, but the strain was becoming evident. She returned to Disney that year to star in Herbie Fully Loaded, which was another family-friendly film that earned $144 million worldwide, but the reviews from critics were mixed. Around this time, Lohan also became the first person to have a My Scene celebrity doll released by Mattel, and even voiced herself in the animated film My Scene Goes Hollywood the movie. As her popularity grew, so did the demands on her time, and the paparazzi continued to track her every move. By this point, Lohan was no longer just a teenage actress. She had become a bona fide celebrity, but with fame came increasing scrutiny, and the pressures of maintaining her career while dealing with personal challenges soon led to more tumultuous years ahead. Yet, despite everything, Lohan's early 2000s dominance in both film and music left a bold mark on pop culture, and her performances in films like Mean Girls and Freaky Friday continue to be the classics, with fans old to be new alike. Music career. While Lohan's film career was on fire, she also ventured into music. As part of her role in Freaky Friday, she learned to sing and play the guitar, and her song Ultimate became a hit on Radio Disney. This opened the door for her to pursue a music career, so in December 2004 she released her debut album Speak, which was a mix of hip-hop and rock influences. Although critics gave the album lukewarm reviews, it was a commercial success and sold over 1 million copies in the US alone, and debuted at number 4 on the Billboard 200. Tracks like Rumors and Over received moderate airplay, and overall Lohan's dip into the music industry added another dimension to her already impressive resume. Lohan's second album, A Little More Personal Raw, was released in December 2005. This album, which she co-wrote, featured more personal and emotional content, particularly in the single Confessions of a Broken Heart Daughter to Cole. The music video for the song was a deeply personal dramatization of the pain she experienced due to her father's troubled past, and Lohan directed it herself. The song became her first to chart on the Billboard Hot 100 and peaked at number 57, while the album went on to be certified gold, though it too received mixed reviews from critics. Troubled years and distance from Hollywood. With hit films like Freaky Friday and Mean Girls, Lohan established herself as a bankable lead, and for a while, it seemed like nothing could stop her rise to fame. Yet, as Lohan's career peaked, all the highs, her personal life began to spiral out of control, and ultimately overshadowed her professional accomplishments. By the time Lindsay turned 18, her party lifestyle was becoming the talk of Hollywood, and she was frequently seen at nightclubs and events throughout New York City, and rumors of excessive drinking and drug use began to surface. As her nightlife activities intensified, her work ethic on set reportedly took a nosedive, and studio executives and directors started to voice their frustrations, with some, like James G. Robinson, openly criticizing her behavior. Lohan's growing reputation as a troubled young star seemed to follow her everywhere, and by the age of 20, her struggles with addiction were no longer a secret. This marked the beginning of a rocky period in her life filled with a series of legal issues, canceled film projects, and multiple stints in rehab. In 2006, during the filming of Georgia Rule, Lohan's erratic behavior was publicly called out by the film's production company, which included her absences and poor performance to her excessive partying. The same year, she was hospitalized for what was officially deemed overheating and dehydration, but the incident further fueled speculation about her health and substance use. Things only got worse when she had to pause filming for I Know Who Killed Maine to undergo an appendectomy, and her personal struggles seemed to overshadow her professional life completely. The press latched onto every misstep, and by 2007, Lohan's perfect image as an inspiring actress had all but disappeared. That same year, Lohan's life took an even darker turn. On May 26, 2007, she crashed her Mercedes-Benz into a tree in Beverly Hills and tried to flee the scene. She was arrested and charged with DUI. But shockingly, this was not her last run-in with the law that summer. Less than 2 months later, in July, she was arrested again in Santa Monica after being involved in a car chase with her assistant who had just quit. When police arrived at the scene, they found Lohan under the influence and in possession of cocaine. In a single night, Lohan had managed to get involved in drinking, drugs, and harassment of a former employee, which was a perfect pass to pull her already run-down image to tatters. Despite the severity of these incidents, Lohan avoided serious felony charges because the amount of cocaine in her possession was under the legal threshold, and she ended up being charged with 2 counts of DUI and 1 count of reckless driving. Additionally, she faced a lawsuit from a passenger in the car she had chased who accused her of assault and negligence. In the end, Lohan struck a plea deal that reduced her charges to basically none, and she received the minimum penalty of 4 days in jail, 10 days of community service, and mandatory attendance in rehab. Her jail time was even later reduced to just 1 day, which she served along with the rehab stint at the Cirque Lodge Treatment Center. By October 2007, Lohan was out of rehab and claimed that she was a changed person and was humble and sober, but the reality was far more complicated. From 2007 to 2012, Lohan's life was a constant cycle of substance abuse, legal troubles, and rehab stays. Her once promising film career faltered as her name became synonymous with scandal rather than talent, and her projects fell through, and even when she did manage to secure roles, her performances received lukewarm responses. Films that once would have been surefire box office hits with her attached now struggled to find an audience, and the compliments she had once enjoyed were replaced by harsh reviews. As Lohan's career struggled, her personal life continued to spiral. Her frequent arrests for offenses ranging from DUIs to drug possession kept her in the tabloids for all the wrong reasons. Each stint in rehab was followed by a relapse, and her probation was repeatedly extended due to missed drug tests and court-mandated meetings. With time, she had become more famous for her legal troubles than for her work in Hollywood, and it seemed as though the former Disney star was stuck in an unending downward spiral. But in 2012, there was a glimmer of hope. Lohan started to re-emerge from the shadows and was determined to reclaim her career and reputation. She appeared on Glee in 2012 and starred in The Canyons in 2013, reminding herself in the world of how much she missed acting. However, another reckless driving incident and a stint in rehab that summer delayed her comeback once again. By 2014, Lohan was ready for a fresh start. She moved into an apartment in New York City, worked with a life coach, and eventually made the decision to move abroad, where she sought a quieter and more stable life. In 2014, Lohan relocated to Dubai and credited this move with helping her regain control of her life. Away from the constant eyes of Hollywood and the paparazzi, she found a sense of peace and privacy that she had longed forever. In interviews, she spoke about how the move allowed her to focus on herself and her health without the constant pressure of being in the public eye. This marked a significant turning point in her life, as she transitioned from the chaos of her early 20s to a more stable and grounded self. Despite stepping away from the Hollywood limelight, Lohan did not completely leave the entertainment industry. She took on a recurring role in the Sky One series, Sick Note, in 2018, which received positive attention, while also exploring reality television and starring in MIM TV's Lindsay Lohan's Beach Club, which documented her ventures as a businesswoman and founder of a beach club in Greece. These projects showed that while Lohan's life had changed, her passion for entertainment had not truly disappeared. By 2022, Lohan was living a much more balanced life in Dubai, far from the chaos of her early years, and was reflecting on her journey. She also acknowledged how the challenges she had faced had led to her growth and how she had learned plenty of lessons along the way. Other ventures. Lindsay Lohan has had quite a diverse career beyond her acting roles and has dipped her toes into everything from fashion to business ventures. She has been a prominent face in the fashion world and has modeled for high-profile brands like Jill Stewart, Miu Miu, and Fornarina, and has even appeared in the 2008 Visa Swap British fashion campaign. Lindsay's love with Marilyn Monroe has been a driving force in her fashion choices and projects, and in 2008, she paid homage to Monroe by recreating the iconic star's final photo shoot known as The Last Sitting for New York magazine and described it as Grenache. That same year, Lindsay launched her clothing line 6126, which is apparently named after Monroe's birthday. It started with leggings and then quickly expanded to a full collection of over 280 pieces by 2010. Her fashion ventures continued with a guest judge appearance on Project Runway in January 2009, and she took on an artistic advisor role for the French fashion house Emmanuel Ungaro in September 2009. However, her time with Ungaro ended in March 2010, after a collection she advised on received mediocre reviews. Despite this setback, Lindsay continued to explore fashion and made waves with her Playboy cover in 2024, which was inspired by Monroe's nude pictorial from the magazine's first issue and reportedly broke sales records. Lindsay did not stop at fashion and in 2020 ventured into jewelry design with a collection for UK-based boutique brand Lily Baker, followed by a limited edition sneaker line with Allbirds in 2022. Her creativity also extended to nursery accessories when she launched an ocean-themed collection with Nestig in 2023. In the nightlife realm, Lindsay opened her first nightclub named Lohan Nightclub in Athens, Greece, in 2016, followed by beach resorts on the islands of Mykonos and Rhodes. She also dabbled in digital entertainment with the 2014 release of her free-to-play video game app, Lindsay Lohan's The Price of Fame, and launched a lifestyle site Premium in 2017, which offered exclusive content for a monthly fee. In 2021, Lindsay took on the role of podcast host with The Lowdown with Lindsay Lohan. The podcast, which premiered in April 2022 and ran until September of the same year, was part of her continued efforts to diversify her career and stay connected with her audience in new ways. And through all these ventures, Lindsay managed to keep reinventing herself and expanding her influence beyond the silver screen. Personal life. As we talked before, how Lindsay Lohan's personal life has always been under the spotlight since she was a teenager, and things has not always been smooth. She has always been open about the challenges she faced growing up, but despite the tight toughs, Lindsay has always spoken highly of her family and how much they mean to her. However, in the late 2000s, Lindsay made the tough decision to distance herself from her father and described his behavior as unpredictable and difficult to manage, and how it was a rough period for her, but it seems like time has healed some wounds. In 2023, Lindsay shared that she was back on good terms with both her mom and dad, and the family even reunited in April, making it the first time they had all been together in about 7 years. This was a big deal for Lindsay, who has always valued her family despite the ups and downs, and says that through it all, she has managed to leave some peace in her personal life, and it looks like things are heading in a positive direction for her now. Dating history and significant other. When it comes to Lindsay Lohan's love life, it is like diving into a whirlwind of rumors, hard action, brief but intense relationships. Her path to finding the one has been anything but smooth and was lined by a series of high-profile romances and some pretty dramatic breakups. Back in 2002, Lindsay was briefly linked to Aaron Carter, the teen heartthrob whose popularity had skyrocketed thanks to hits like Aaron's Party. This relationship stirred up some drama with Hilary Duff, who had also been romantically involved with Carter, and this love triangle had been the talk of the town for a while. However, by 2003, Lindsay and Aaron had parted ways after only a few months of dating, leaving behind a trail of gossip and speculation. Just a year later, Lindsay entered into a high-profile on and off relationship with Wilmer Valderrama, who is known for his role on That 70s Show. Despite their 7-year age gap, the couple was often seen out and about in Hollywood's hottest spots, and they even made their relationship official in July 2004. However, the romance was short-lived and ended just 4 months later. Wilmer moved on to date Ashley Simpson, and although he and Lindsay remained friends, he later confessed that he preferred to keep their relationship more private as it was more meaningful that way. In 2006, Lindsay's love life took another turn when she began dating Harry Morton, who was a restaurateur and owned Pink Taco. They met at Lindsay's 20th birthday bash and quickly hit it off. Their relationship seemed promising, with Harry even accompanying Lindsay to the Venice Film Festival. Unfortunately, things fell apart after just 2 months, and Morton went on describing Lindsay as too much drama for him to handle, especially given her high-profile partying lifestyle. Despite the breakup, the two appeared to stay on good terms until Harry's tragic death in 2019 at the age of 38. Lindsay paid tribute to him by reminiscing about their time together on the gram, and her mother Dina also shared a heartfelt message honoring Harry. In 2008, Lindsay shocked fans by getting involved with DJ Samantha Ronson. This relationship marked Lindsay's public acknowledgement of her bisexuality, and although it brought its own set of challenges, it was a significant moment for her. The couple's romance was highly publicized and filled with drama, and eventually came to an end in 2009. Lindsay later admitted that the comments from the public and the relationship's toxicity made it difficult for her, leading her to a period of self-reflection and personal growth. Lindsay's love life took another dramatic turn in late 2015 when she began dating Egor Tarabasov, a Russian millionaire. Their relationship seemed idyllic at first, with the pair hitting red carpets and going on luxurious holidays together. They even got engaged in early 2016. However, their relationship soon soured with reports of physical violence and tumultuous arguments. The couple's issues came to a head in July 2016 when footage surfaced of them having a physical altercation on a beach in Mykonos, Greece, and Lindsay alleged that she was being physically assaulted and that Egor was cheating on her. Despite attempts to salvage the relationship, it ended shortly after these revelations. Lindsay later opened up about the heartbreak and her efforts to fix things, and revealed how deeply her trust was broken. After a routine of high-profile romances and personal drama, Lindsay Lohan seems to have found her happy ending with Bader Shammas. Lindsay and Bader met through mutual friends, and Bader, a Lebanese financier, was a breath of fresh air for Lindsay with his low-key private lifestyle. Unlike her past relationships, which often played out in the public eye, their connection began quietly and away from the media frenzy. In November 2021, Lindsay made their relationship official on Instagram and announced their engagement with a heartfelt post that thrilled her fans. The couple kept their wedding under wraps and opted for a private, intimate ceremony rather than a splashy public affair, which Lindsay later revealed on her gram. Lindsay and Bader now keep their life together mostly off the radar and share only occasional glimpses on social media. This more private approach is a stark contrast to Lindsay's previous relationships and shows a more settled and content phase in her life. Hollywood comeback and current life. Lindsay Lohan is currently enjoying a vibrant phase in her life by blending a mix of personal and professional achievements that highlight her return to the spotlight. After a notable hiatus, she made a charming comeback with the Netflix holiday film Falling for Christmas. Released in November 2022, this film marked her first major movie role in over a decade and was a sweet return to the romantic comedy genre that suits her well. Not only did Lohan star as a hotel heiress with amnesia, but she also contributed to the film's soundtrack with original songs and a cover of Jingle Bell Rock. The film became the most watched holiday movie of 2022 in the US, showing how people had been patiently waiting for her to return to the light. Following this success, Lohan signed a deal with Netflix for 2 more films. One of these Irish Wish hit screens in March 2024, and another, Our Little Secret, began production in early 2024. In addition to her acting career, Lohan has been busy with various other ventures. She has been featured in commercials, including a memorable spot for Planet Fitness during the 2022 Super Bowl. She has also made a mark as a narrator for Amazon Prime Video's reality dating show Love Has Struck High. Her return to the industry is not just about acting. Lohan has been involved in several new projects and public appearances, signaling a strategic and positive re-entry into Hollywood. On the personal front, Lohan's life is thriving as well. Her marriage to financier Bader Shammas has been a source of stability and happiness, and they welcomed their first child, Luaya, last year. Lohan has also been vocal about her commitment to self-care and mental health, and has reflected a deep focus on personal growth. This positive shift in her personal life has also influenced her professional life and has helped her navigate a successful return to the entertainment industry.